Hi everyone, Paul here. I'm the Chief Operating Director from Forex Smart Trade. What you're about to watch is Alec, one of our new traders, giving a demonstration of his trading strategy. Our indicators generate about a dozen different signals, and he's taken one and he's modified it with great success. Alec's been trading about 8 months. He blew up his first account, company account, because he didn't follow the risk guidelines and was doing something called revenge trading. And that is when he made a bad trade, he would kind of chase it back the other way, and that generally makes the situation worse. But he figured it out, and he's now doing terrific. Alec had a great job and was making more money than most people do. But it was a tremendous grind. Long hours, strenuous hours. Alec's goal was to become a full-time trader and be able to work less and make more. A few months ago, we consulted a little bit, and he asked me if I thought he was ready to quit his job. We discussed his situation. My advice was that he should probably wait a little bit until he hit the $50,000 company-funded account mark. Then he'd have enough time and consistency trading, and also have enough capital where he'd be able to earn more than what he was, or replace what he was already making. Well, since we've spoken, Alec blew past that, and now he is sharing his trading results and technique. He's also gone into trading full-time. Alec is an ordinary guy. Listen to his story and enjoy. I want to encourage you, you can replicate what Alec did and also what I've done. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
All right, guys, we're getting started. So again, welcome to this very special Zoom meeting that we have tonight. First of its kind for our company. Super excited about that. But as with every webinar or Zoom meeting that we have, we get to start off with our company disclosure. Again, welcome those that might be brand new, looking at us for the first time, or even wondering what we're doing. So welcome. And this will explain a little bit more about our company disclosure. Give us just 1 minute.
Do you want me to play it? Hold on, guys. I got it right here. That is nice and broken. All right, so back it up to the beginning. 3, 2, 1, click.
Stay tuned. As a particular foreign exchange, futures, and cryptocurrency trading are highly risky, and you can lose all the money you invest should you decide to engage in live trading. We are not responsible for your investment, trading, or tax decisions. We are not licensed financial advisors, traders, accountants, stockbrokers, or attorneys. We are not licensed commodities brokers and do not engage in or facilitate commodities transactions. We are not an introducing broker, and we make no recommendations to whether you should invest or what broker you should trade with. As you apply what you learn, we recommend you seek advice from licensed professionals. Any trade results that we show should not be considered typical of our students. We do not and cannot track the results or performance of our students' private trading accounts. We do not know what a typical or average student earns or loses trading. This is not a get-rich-quick program, guaranteed system, or business opportunity. We sell training and trading tools. We make no promises our training or tools will generate future income for students, and do not make your investment bad, including your investment in this training. Any redistribution or recording of this material is strictly prohibited without advance written permission.
Okay, there you go. Again, just really quick for friends and family. Again, we join up with certain charities every month. The one that we're teaming up with right now is Help Us Provide Clean Water for Children in Tanzania. Heart and Hands for Humanity.org. What a great cause. Anyways, again, thank you again for joining us tonight. Super excited to welcome Alec. He's one of our students, and this is something that's really unique. Alec started with us back in, I think, August of last year. He went through coaching with Dell Lynn, one of our full-time coaches, in fact, one of our longest coaches here with our company. And I also had the privilege of meeting with him for 2 days, part of a 2-day executive package. To help him make a change in his life. So he's had some great success. I'm super excited to hear from what's really worked for him. and we're all get the privilege of listening to them tonight. So again, everyone will be mute for this meeting, so if you can, please type in your questions. We have people monitoring the questions that will be fed to me, or Sean West is also on here. We'll be able to ask them to Alec to help this flow go. So again, super excited. He's a great guy. Again, most of you already know him. Great human being, great person. I'm going to turn it over to Alec now.
Hey guys, good evening. My name is Alec. I started my trading journey was it last August, and tell you guys right now, I was very iffy on doing it. The reason why is just because you just never know. I tried trading by myself. Just the money I was throwing away, it was just it wasn't working out for me. I reached back out to Paul. Again, everybody knows Paul, and we went over some stuff. And long story short, I've been doing very great as of lately. The advice I give everyone is just really what I did. Where the background I'm coming from, I was a financial director for a car dealership, and the hours that I worked, just so where everyone says that they work and they work long hours and all that type of stuff. I worked from probably 7:30 a.m. to almost 11 o'clock at night most nights, and I still had time to learn the indicators, do my classes, do my webinars, and I really wanted to make this a full-time thing. And great news, guess what? It is now. So it's a blessing. I'd love to share with you guys what I've done, how my success. I can show you guys how I trade. So with that being said, if there's any questions, feel free to put in the Q&A, and we will get this rolling.
You're building.
Go ahead.
Hey, Alec, real quick, while
Yes,
you're
sir.
pulling up your charts, how did this meeting come about?
What do you mean? Can you rephrase that? I apologize.
This point of this Zoom call, or this Zoom meeting, like what was it that, how did this all transpire? Like you had some success, you mentioned it on our chat app, and you got a lot of questions behind it.
Yeah, so the reason why I wanted to do this is because I was just like everyone else attending this Zoom call, the Zoom meeting, and a lot of people can say that they've done it, that they do it, but until you do it yourself and you give it your 100%, you will never know. So the reason why I want to do it is because I put in that work, I put in that grind, I put in. Sometimes there's some nights where I went to work the next day and I'm really tired, and I'll tell you right now, it paid off. So what I want to do is I'm going to share my experience and my trading strategies with everyone else to hopefully give them a better overview on these excellent indicators.
Perfect. And yeah, and kind of walk through kind of the process how you came about to come up with your plan and how you use it.
Okay. So what I did first was I tried multiple strategies. I wanted to be a scalper for a long time because I was so nervous of holding on to a trade and it just going backwards on me. So I found my strategy, and my strategy, the nice thing about it is it works on every chart.
Yeah.
It works on every chart, every time frame, every pair, anything that you could really think of. And it's worked very well for me, and that's kind of where I'm at.
Hey, Alec, make sure you share your screen with us, because all we can see is your video right now.
Oh, I apologize.
No worries.
Can everyone see now?
Yep, we're good.
All right, fantastic. So guys, typically the first thing that I do every day, one thing that me and Jared did when we did my 2-day executive training, I am in the platinum program as well. Probably the best thing that I've done for myself. What we started for, I didn't really have a plan prior to me talking with Jared. I really just came in, I put in my support and my resistance in, and I just followed the indicators. The plan that he helped me implement, the steps that you guys want to take, is very, 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 very important. It's a non-negotiable. You're going to want to do it. It takes a lot more stress off you, and it's going to make you a better trader overall, in my overview. So what I do, first thing is, I apologize, I don't have my Google Docs on this computer. It's on my actual desktop. But what I do is, first thing I do is I open up my laptop. I say a quick prayer. I will go to my Forex Factory. What I do with my Forex Factory is I just look for announcements. And if I see yellow, typically I will trade around the yellow. Oranges and reds, I'm telling you guys right now, I stay away from them. I won't even come close to that time frame. If I see a lot of oranges and reds in the day, it's either I'm staying away from that specific pair or I'm not trading at all. Next thing I do, a lot of new comers coming on. This is actually going to be a very helpful tool. This is the Forex trading clock. This will tell you what pair is going on in the market right now, what's live and what's not live. So there's that. Let's see. Let's go to, so guys, typically what I wanted to do today, as of right now, I do, let me look over, see if there's any trade available. Typically, so this is how I have my chart set up. This is how I trade. Now, how you guys trade is completely on to you. I just want to show you guys how I trade. So typically what I have set up, I have a 15-minute, 30-minute, 60-minute, 120-minute on one set. And the reason why I have it on one set and not all combined is because I don't want to get confused and I want to see the whole picture. If I go to my second, the reason why I separate them, my long, is because typically what I do is I have a clean chart going with my clean pressure. That is typically the marks that I'm going to make on the chart, and then also the core indicators lining up right next to it to give me a accurate analysis. The weekly that I have in the corner, I've never taken a trade off the weekly, but right now it does look like it may turn into a strong buy. So I'm not going to take it, but let's go over here. I typically trade around 30 to 60 minute. My 15-minute is typically my setup for my 30 and my 60. My 120, I typically take a trade on that only if it's showing a very, 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 very strong indication. So what I wanted to do as of right now, it looks like I wouldn't take a trade on this, and that's just because right now we're oversold. We're oversold a lot, and I don't hop in at these times. A lot of people that I see, they tend to try to hop in at the wrong time, and that could be a lot of your guys' problems, hopping in at the wrong time. Just to go over the indicators real quick and how I look at them real quick. And how I look at them is, let's look at this 30-minute chart. My TNTs. My orange is right here, my thick orange, looks like a little bit up, then orange a little bit sideways, down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick random time frames in the market, and we're going to try taking trades from there, do a little bit of back testing. Back testing is my #1 key at what I I would say, my accomplishments. If you don't back test, guys, that's something that I would strongly recommend. Please back test. Take 5 minutes out of your time every day. I mean, 2 to 5 minutes. It shouldn't take that long. Just go back and look at the market. What did it do the last day? What did it do yesterday? You know, if you're taking trades and you're losing them or you're winning them, go back and see what you did. Why did you win that trade? Why did you lose that trade? Overall, when you're back testing and you look at that, you'll see in the live market, you'll have a lot more confidence in yourself when taking your next trade.
Alec, how, kind of a two-part question. How back, I know you just mentioned maybe you're going back a day, but how far back have you gone back to back test? And then how many back tests would you say that you completed before you actually took it to a demo account or to a live account?
I went so far back as a couple years back. I mean, I've done it from, I went all the way back to where, as far back as you can go. And the reason why I've done that is because I really wanted to test the indicators. What I'll do is, personally, is I'll typically trade off a live account, but prior to doing that, I did trade off a demo account before I felt comfortable trading in a live account. Was that a good way to answer that question? Or? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I was just making sure.
Alec,
Yeah.
real quick, we have a lot of new people that are on here that have, kind of like we were talking about, have never traded before, and you're teaching very well. But for them, if you could kind of explain what back testing means, it's a different kind of term.
Oh, I apologize. Yeah, of
As
course.
well as, could you also look at and kind of explain, you know, we're talking about these weird lines that are on here. Could you kind of go through and just say, hey, this is what this indicator is, so that way those who are on here that are brand new to our system, there's a ton of them, if you can kind of clean that up or kind of clarify that for them as well.
Fantastic. So let's do this, guys. Let me get these. I got the cameras all on here. So what backtesting means is, for you guys that don't even know what the market is, long story short, these are candlesticks. Okay, there's an open, there's a close, there's a bullish candle, there's a bearish candle. A bullish candle is going to be your green one, right? These are the ones that are indicating that you're going up. Your bearish are your red ones right here. These are the ones that are typically showing you that the market is taking a little boo-boo. So what backtesting means is, so right now we're in the live market. And you can tell that if you look at my green charts, my top left right here, that just shows that we're live. Also, the bottom right, this little green 25 down there, that shows that we're live. Now check this out. Oh, what just happened? That red 25, that shows us that we're backtesting, that the market, we're not currently trading live. Okay. So what backtesting means is, I could go back and test any time that I want to test. Now, the nice thing about these indicators and green charts is, check how cool this stuff is. This stuff is. So I'm going to use a specific date. I can go to a specific date. Let me think of a date. Let's do March 12th, just because I want to do March 12th. All right, so we're at March 12th right now. And right now what it's doing is, my speed over here, this is just showing what the live market did at this point in time. So that's typically what backtesting means, is you're backtesting what the market did, not is doing. And overall what it means is that you are that you are just making sure that your trading strategy is doing good, or testing your trading strategy. Right now, I don't see really anything going on. Let me try some.
Quick, Alec, what are some of your basic rules that we're going to be back testing? Like, what is it that you're looking for as far as your rules that you're wanting to do?
Yeah, I apologize, guys. So, what I do and how I trade, a lot of you guys that are already doing this, I do a 10-point trade. I don't take anything less than a 10-point trade. It would have to be something showing me in the market that it's going to go that certain way. I always follow my pressure. I try to not trade against my pressure. Sorry for the people that don't know what that means. My pressure indicator is my bottom one. It's bottom corner. I don't know if everyone can see my mouse. This is going to be your strongest indicator right here. Okay? This is going to be the one that tells you everything that what the market's doing. Okay? Either it's going sideways, down, up, and then there's the red, and then there's a green line. My red line that's pretty self-explanatory. That means it's selling time. And then your green line is just showing that it's buying time. Typically, you want your red to be over your green if you want it to be a sell. That's my way of trading. So my way of trading is both my TNTs, my TNT indicators, both of my oranges have to be pointing up. My blues have to be pointing down. My thick blue, that's my lagging indicator right there. That is one that I'll typically let go sometimes. But other than that, I only trade with these up and these down because these are inverted indicators. Now, my majors and my minors. These are probably my second and most important one. These right here, I will never take a trade if they're not passed through the channel or already through the channel, if that makes any sense. So right now, just as I have it paused, I wouldn't take a trade. Why? Because it's overbought. I'm not taking a trade. And I always only take a trade after the candle posts. The reason why you do that is because when you're back testing, and you're in the middle of a trade, you never know what that candle's going to do.
So really quick, just for clarification, a posted candle is a completed candle, right, of that specific time frame that you're looking at. So where he's on a 30-minute chart right now, each one of those candles represents a 30-minute time frame. So when Alec says a posted candle, that just means at the end of that 30 minutes, that's exactly how the indicators work. And so just to clarify, Alec, so you're giving each one of those lines a point, right, to come up with 10 points?
Yeah. So every line has to be in a certain direction for me to take a trade. So the way this is just going to play, here, let me try to do this. We'll just go back because I like to do. Let's go all the way back to 312. And again, guys, I'm on a 30-minute chart. I'm sorry I didn't clarify this. So let's go all the way back to 312. Sorry, 312.
And for you guys who are brand new, he is trading on the Aussie US,
which is typically, sorry to cut you off,
which
is typically nighttime. I only trade two pairs, guys. There's other pairs that I do trade, but they have to be very, very strong indications. And the other two pairs that I trade are very, 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 very volatile. Okay, the Aussie USD, that's the one at nighttime. That one's actually a very slow pair to trade. That's why I like it, because I can kind of see what's going to be going on. The Euro USD, that's probably everyone's favorite pair in this chat right now. Probably the number one, what everyone trades. And then I also look at NASDAQ and then gold as well. That's just my personal preference.
And to clarify, is just for you guys who are brand new, this is the Forex market, which is the currency market. For just stands for foreign exchange. Just want to clarify that.
Thank you.
Hey, Alec, you have a question about your rules. Do you need your rules met only on one chart?
Yeah, I can. So the nice thing about it is I can have a 15-minute chart up. I can have a 30-minute chart up. I can have a 60, etc. The nice thing about my rules is if every chart is showing my rules, I'm taking a trade on every chart. That's just how I trade. Now, if one chart is showing me that the strong buy or strong sell, and the other one is not, I'm not going to try trading on that other chart. The only difference, guys, from me trading from a 15-minute chart from a daily chart is going to be my take profit on each. Looks like you had a question, Gary.
Yeah. So, no, you're just going into, explain what is the stop loss and the take profit.
So your stop loss and your take profit are, well, me and Jared went over this. This was my biggest thing. For some reason, I never put a stop loss in. And you know what, guys? I'll tell you right now, it hurt me. It hurt me pretty good. I learned my lesson. So what a stop loss is you know what? Let me try going over here a second. Let me go back to my screen. Just because I already had it put up.
And when you get to a point, I know you're talking about take profit, stop loss.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would also help when you're showing us take profit, stop loss. Can you show us a buy and a sell trade setup as far as with all your rules, so that way we can look at it and say,
that's what I was going to do.
What I would take. Okay, perfect.
Okay, so right here, would I take a trade? Probably not.
Yeah, and Alec, this is Matt. Can you walk us through what you're seeing? What is it you're seeing that would have you take it or not take it? Just kind of speak, what you're thinking.
Okay. Yeah. So, let me get out my little rectangle right here. So, right here, both my TNPs, yes, they are pointing down, and my blue is pointing sideways. My major and minors looks like they're crossing over each other and they're just about to pass through my overbought. That's typically, I see a setup coming. Okay? And then if you look at my pressure, if you look at my pressure is actually, it's pretty high up. And it looks like my red is just now crossing over my green. Personally, I would probably take this trade. Just because it's starting to look like it's going to be a little sell. So, what I do is, I have a price retracement tool that Mr. Jared helped me out with. And if you guys would like to see how this works, let me go to my button. This is how my setup is. If everyone wants to take a screenshot of it. And overall, what it means is right here, this negative 20 is my take profit. Right here, this negative 50 is my take profit. Right here, this 100, and that's typically where I put my stop loss around. Okay? Overall, I know a lot of people don't know what that means. I'm going to show you here in just 2 seconds. So what I'll do with this price retracement tool is I would click the bottom of this candle, and I would drag it to the last candle.
So, is there any way you can blow this up? Make it, make the candles wider, maybe?
How do I do that, though?
Go down to the bottom time frame and expand it to the left.
Yeah, grab that and pull it. So, or push the up and down. Oh, there we go. There you go. Yeah, keep going.
Keep going?
Yeah, it's so small for even me. Is everyone else able to see this okay? That looks good there. That It's amazing. That's great.
Looks good.
Yeah, and thank you. Alec, you're doing a great job, by the way. Have you done this before?
I've had to do presentations in my old job, but guess what? I'm a trader now. So
No, you're doing great, man. Thank you.
yeah, no problem. So what this means right here, again, to touch on a take profit and the stop losses, this right here is going to be my stop loss. And what is this telling me right here? This 100% where I said my stop loss is going to be, what is this telling me? That's a 6 pip stop loss. Me personally, I would do a 7 pip. I always go 1 pip behind wherever this is, just because sometimes the market does some retracement, and I hate to get knocked out by 1 pip. It's happening, okay? So let's look at the next candle. Oh, baby, look at that. So how I take trades is, as you see, there's two take profits in there, okay? And I typically take the trade around. So long story short, I'm going to break it down for you guys for risk management. So if you have a $10,000 account and you're trading on a 1 lot size, as they teach, I apologize. You want to break this up. So I will take 3 trades at a time. My first trade is going to be for 20%. My second trade is going to be for 50%. And then I always let that third trade go. So what that means is, if I'm trading on a 1 lot size, I'm going to break that up into 3. Okay? So I'm just going to throw a number out there. At a 0.30 lot size, instead of taking them all at 1, I'm going to take them at 0.30. It's risk management. So right here, as you guys see, that I would have hit my take profit on, what was that, 1.5 pips and then 3 pips, I would have still had one running. Okay? Let's see. I would have held this. Let it still go. Yep, I still would have let it go. Still would have let it go. And the reason why I'm letting it go right now is because look at my pressure. My red is still kind of staying down. Okay? I know it's doing a little bit of sideways retracement, but it looks like my majors and my minors, they did pass through the channel, but they didn't pass through the channel hard, and they're coming back down. That's the indication I'm seeing right now. So I'm holding, boom, 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 boom. Right here, I would have got out. Okay? So overall, guys, right here, I would have got in here. I would have got out here. That's what? 40 pips? Am I right? That's about 40 pips. I had that running at a 0.30 lot size. Yeah. And that's typically how I trade. So that's that. But the nice thing is here, I'm going to show you guys, that is just one 30-minute trade. Okay? I would like to show you guys on a 15-minute chart, a 60-minute chart, a 240 chart, just to show you guys how my trading works.
So quick
Hey,
question.
Alec, yeah, I got some questions too. So that's
All right, go ahead.
yeah, don't worry.
So one of them on that trade that you just let run.
Uh-huh.
Somebody was asking, do you just manually exit that out? Do you have a trailing stop on there?
So I
You
have
just
a
like
VPS.
watching it and do that?
Yeah, so I have a VPS. That's something again that you guys would have to purchase by yourselves. What a VPS is it's a software to where it's always running, if that makes any sense. So it's like you could buy a VPS for like $100, which is pretty cool, and you could put your broker onto it, and you can have a trailing stop running. And the trailing stop you can either put it on for 2 pips, 3 pips, 4 pips. I typically put at 8 pips, just because, but if it hits my stop loss, it hits my stop loss. But overall, guess what? I already took profit on 2 trades.
Hey, just to put a little clarity behind that real quick, Alec. For those
those of you that are wondering what it is that he's using, it's like a third-party trailing stop. So it is still something that is built into MetaTrader 4. It just, the MetaTrader 4 one is not as effective. Like, you have to leave your laptop on, you have to be connected to the internet, you can't close the program. The one that he's talking about goes a little bit further than that and allows it to run without the program being open. So it's just a different way of doing it, but very, very similar to the same thing.
Yeah, so Alec, you're running it in the cloud, basically. You're running your MT4 in the cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can do that, by the way, guys, you can do that a million ways. Like, there's a million ways to skin that cat. You can actually leave your computer running at home and run a virtual server into your computer. I mean, there's so many different ways to skin this cat. I did have a question, though, Alex. So you've got all 3 trades going in at once, broken up into thirds. So like a typical trade, you're helping manage your risk by having 2 trades that are short and within your range, and then you're taking one to the fences, basically. But that last trade also has a stop loss, right? So you're still protected from that third trade.
Yeah, I apologize. I will move my stop loss up. I will move my stop loss up at my entry, so I'm not losing anything.
Interesting.
And then I will let it run.
And your profit that you've made, I mean, even if it hit your stop, what's your percentage again?
My trading percentage?
No, the percentage of the stop loss and take profits. Sorry.
20%, 50%. I don't get greedy.
So you're 70%, and then your stop loss per trade is what again?
My stop loss?
Yep.
It's about 100%. It goes back to 100%.
Got it. So even if you make those 2 trades and it even somehow went back to that third stop, you'd only lose like a third of the balance you were risking in the first place. Is that what I'm understanding? Okay. Yeah. Got it. Yeah, and by the way, I love this. I'm a long-term trader. I'm someone who likes to look at things long-term. I know we have a lot of short-term scalpers. But what I'm finding that's really interesting about this is you've taken like single entry points and said, hey, I'm going to scalp some off the top because, that's what we do here. I'm going to let the one go, especially when you're using like a 30-minute chart to kind of grab the run. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Just for you, Matt. This next one's going to be for you. I'm going to do a 240 chart.
All
I'm
right,
going to do a 240 chart. Okay. Let me go to my long. Actually, you know what? Let me see if there's any questions in here. I'd love to answer some.
Yeah, what time of day are you trading?
What's that?
What time of day are you trading?
So I typically wake up around like 5:30 a.m. and I hop into Euro, and then I'll hop in Aussie. I'll see if some setups throughout the day, and then I'll maybe take a trade on Aussie at nighttime, maybe. Guys, I want to let you guys know I only trade maybe once a day. I'll maybe take one trade with a three take profits, one stop loss once a day. I only go in at my trading strategy. And the reason why I do that is because it's not about quantity, guys. It's about quality. I'm very big on securing my profit. I don't want to. I am guilty. I was actually a person that I don't want to say it. I hate traded. I over traded. If I lost, I tried to make it back. I went to I overdid my lot size just to try to go back even, and that's not the way to do it.
It's called revenge trading.
Yes, revenge trading, and I'll tell you guys right now, that's not the way to do it. You gotta, if you guys lose it, hey, guess what? I'm telling you guys right now, it's saving you guys a lot of hassle. Close your laptop, turn off your desktop, and go back tomorrow, or go back later that day. If you guys lose, you guys see you lost a little bit, go back later. Just go back later, clear your mind. If you guys are having a bad day, don't trade that. Okay?
Alec, can you review your stop loss one more time? We've had a few questions come in on that.
Of course, yeah. You want to just do it off here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be a good setup. Maybe just a big example so they can really see.
No, yeah, I just made it. So again, guys, real quick, this is how I trade every time, and I do thank you, Mr. Jared, for this. I remember when me and him did our 2-day executive training. I never used this. I just always went for like 3 or 4 pips, and he's like, "Well, here, check this out." Hey, I'll tell you guys right now, it works. So this is what I do. This is my price retracement tool. Again, if you guys want to, take a screenshot of it. Take a picture. Take a picture. This is how it works. So right here, I pull it back. You know what? You got 5 minutes.
Alec, again, will you just stretch that screen out just a little bit?
Yeah, I see. It's a little hard. All right, boom.
There you go.
Yep. So what I'll do is, if it's a good setup, this is not a good setup, okay? If it's a good setup, I'm going to take it from the bottom of the candle. I'm going to go back to the last opposite candle. So what that means is, if it's looking like a strong buy, go to the last red candle. If it's looking like a strong sell, go to the last green candle, okay? Right here shows me, what, 17.5 pips? I'll probably put it at about 18.5 pips for my stop loss. So whatever that number says, I just up it 1. Okay? And the reason why, I mean, look at this candle right here. Let's say I were to take this trade, right? Let me go to my horizontal line. Let's say I were to take this trade. Look, I would have been stopped out right here. So that's that. Let me go to, would love to take, I mean, this is just for you, Matt. I'm gonna pick a random date.
Yeah, and for me, Alec, the replays are great. I love just seeing you pick out and kind of showing your setups. I think the more of that you do,
okay. Yeah. Let me go back to a random date.
Yeah.
Let's go back to let's go to February 2nd.
I mean, even showing these guys days you remember, it's just really helpful to know the setup, what you're looking at. You know, it's really helpful.
Yeah. Let me just so let's do February 2nd. Right here, would I take this trade? There's something. So on larger charts, this is why I typically don't trade off the larger chart. I do, but then I lower my lot size a lot. Like if I'm trading on a chart like this, I'll tell you guys right now, my lot size is a 0.05. I don't even care how much money I got it. That's just the way I'm not a long-term trader until I feel that I'm going to be a long-term trader. I'm more of like a 30-minute, 60-minute type of trader I am. So that's that. On these type of trades, on the longer terms, I really only follow my majors and my pressure. And the reason why is just because it's such a shorter, I mean, it's such a longer time frame. So I just try to follow my pressure, my major, and my minors. They typically tell me what's about to happen. My TNTs are there, but I typically only use my TNTs on the shorter time frame. That's just my personal preference. So right here, just what I'm seeing, I'm in the channel, right? My red just crossed over my green. My pressure is looking down. Yes, my pressure, my red is not over my green, but look how strong that pressure is showing down. I'm going to take this trade, okay? Let's retrace it. Look at that. That 21 pip. See what we get. Up. I would have won.
No, I was going to say, yeah, so the stop loss on my case would have been 43 pips, but you adjust your take profits to accommodate for your risk.
Yep. Yep. So right here, guys, on my small lot size, okay, on my small lot size, I would have got what? Was that 86 pips? I would have got 86 pips, and then I would have got what's that? Is that, yeah, it's 215 pips. God bless. I would have 86 pips and 215 pips to look at. Look at Matt. This is for you, bud. So we got 86 pips, 215 pips, and then I still would have had one month. Okay? Right here, this next candle, I would have got out. Just because I'm not a long-term trader, I wouldn't have stuck in it. That's just my personal preference. So let's see if we can get anything. Ooh, right here, I'd probably take a trade. Right here, I would probably take a trade. Okay? So what I do here is I typically cut it. You can cut the drawing so it's not keep going into your trading. And then what I do is on my FX Blue, on all the trades that I won and all the trades that I lost on Saturday nights or Friday nights, whatever, whenever I have time, I go to those trades and I go back and look at them. So if I do lose them, why did I lose them? Was there a announcement that happened that I didn't look at? Did I not follow my process? A lot of the stuff that I take into consideration. Right here, I would take this trade. Okay, so
Can you talk point by point for us why you would take this trade?
yes, the reason why I would take this trade. I'm gonna bring out my rectangle for you guys. My TNTs. Look how strong these indicators are, guys. These indicators are fantastic. They really are. I love them. My TNTs, both my orders are pointing up. Okay, I know I said on a longer chart, I don't typically follow them, but this is the way I trade. My thin blue is pointing down. Again, what I said in the very, very beginning, my thick blue line, it could really go wherever way. If it's pointing down, yes, it gives me, a lot more benefits to take the buy or take the sell, but that one's a lagging indicator, so I just kind of let it do what it does. Okay. Right down here, my majors, my minors. They're right now. It looks like my major right there, my little green, just passed through the channel. I'm going to take that trade, and then look at my pressure. I know I can't. Can I zoom in on this? Ooh, look at that. Look at that. What's happening right there? My green is crossing over my red. Okay. So what that means is it looks like it could be some upward pressure. Let's see if we win. See if we win. That would have been a close one. That would have been a close one. That one also would have been a close one. But we'll say right here, because I typically monitor my trades, let's just say I would have got out. So it would have been at least 74 pips.
Right there, buddy. Don't worry about
What's
that.
that?
That's a good winner.
You did after winner?
Yeah.
So, well, right there I would have won. That's that. So I would have been 74 pips and 185 pips following. That's on a longer chart. That's just following my rules. Okay.
So give me. I mean, I'm following all this, but give me how long that would have taken. So we would have been in for those two trades. How long would it take me to make the trade? But then how long would it have taken to fill?
About a day.
Yeah.
I'd say, yeah, about a day. But that's where patience comes in. That's where guys, there's gonna be retracement. There's gonna be sometimes where the candle comes back. Don't be afraid. Don't be, follow your plan. I mean, if you guys are really there for your plan, and you guys are you guys really believe in your plan, follow your plan. And if your plan isn't working out, try to tweak it a little bit, to see what's going wrong. That's why I backtest a lot.
Yeah, one thing too, Alec, you got that tool, that chart calculator tool. And you did,
I got that.
that's how long it took them to pull that trade. And one thing, depending on what time chart you're working on, like you mentioned before, he's on 30 minutes and this one's a 240 or 2 hours and 40 minute chart. Go off the candles. That took him 4 candles to clear. Whereas a smaller time frame with those closer takes off the stop losses, so it might take 4 candles, it might only be an hour and a half.
And can you translate that, Alec? Alec, can you translate that into terms of like dollar amount as far as, you know, if you had X amount of volume, what would that look like on this trade?
Yeah, I'm wondering the same thing. How many pips did you make, and how much does that convert to dollars for those who don't understand pips?
I got you. So check this out, guys. So I'm just gonna add it up in my phone. Everything that we took so far, I'm gonna add up in my phone, and then I'm gonna go to a chart calculator. That's okay. Okay.
And while you're doing that, I just want to make sure on your tool here, it says 74p, but I want to make sure that's 7.4 pips, right? Okay, I just want to clarify. Okay.
Yeah.
And then 185p, because you guys were saying 74, and I think people were thinking that was an actual 74 pips, not 7.4. Okay, just want to make sure.
So with that being said too, yeah, so it'd be 18.5 as we're looking on now. The stop off would be 37.0. Okay. Another way people call them are points. Points is just another way of saying it. That would be 300 some points. It's just another way of saying it.
Yeah. While Alec, you're doing that, calculating that out, I'd like to hear. You know, we got a lot of questions and stuff that are coming in, but I'd like to hear from some of our newbies. I'd love to see how many of you guys are brand spanking new to trading, as well as maybe to our organization, because a lot of these names I don't recognize. So if you guys could put that in, that'd be great for my keeping, as far as keeping roll call, I guess you could say.
Yeah. So I came out with a calculator. Just all the pips that we won today came out to 148. And cool thing is, I mean, we didn't take a loss. It would have took us a little bit to get this 148, but let's go to a pip calculator. So let's type in 148 pips. Get this thing out of the way. Sorry, you guys can see it. On a one lot size, it would have been 1480. So that would have been what? 3 days of trading?
Yeah, and Sean, can you help him out with account sizes on this? Like, I know Alec has his own rules on this, but like, what type of an account size do you have to even do a volume of one?
A lot of that's, I mean, you could have a $10,000 account, you have 5,000, you could do a 2,500. It really just depends on, and you can back me up, Alec, and as well as Jared. It's really going to be taught with you on your trade plan and your strategy, right? And then the money management behind it. And Alec, can you kind of tell me, during the 2 days, how did that help you with your trading when you were sitting in front of Jared, with being able to calculate that volume as well as your take profit and stop loss? How much value was there for you with those 2 days with Jared?
That was it was probably one of the best things that happened to me with my trading. And the reason why is everyone, I want you to understand, I blew accounts. My personal accounts. And when I had my 2 day sit down with Jared, we just kind of critiqued my trading strategy. And there was a point when me and Jared were back testing, and he was calling out some trades, and I told him, man, you know, I probably would take that trade, and I was winning them. We got to that point. So I'll tell you guys right now, the 2 day executive trading, to actually sit down with someone that does this every day, it's probably one of the most helpful things in the world. It really is, because they know these indicators to the back of their hands. They can tell you everything, what all these little boxes and everything means. You know, what they think with your strategy, how they can adapt your strategy to where you can make money, you know, make more money, why you're losing, stuff like that. I mean, it was a great time learning from here overall.
Now I've got some questions on here that I'm going to cross this out, and Jared, you might have to help out with some of this. So I don't know who this is. It may be a member. It might be someone that just got invited by a friend. But it says, shouldn't the lot size be based on stop? We were just talking about like lot sizes.
Yeah.
Shouldn't the lot size be based on stop loss and risk percentage? And I don't know if this person has experience with what a lot size is or what volume sizes are, but typically Jared, what would you recommend? And then I think, Alec, I think it'd be helpful for people to know kind of what your ratio is. It's like, okay, well, once I started at this size of an account, this was my volume level. This was my take profit, my stop loss. Like, yeah, I think they're just trying to figure out, because everyone's got a different account size, trying to figure out, like, well, what do I do? What type of volume should I be trading? Stop loss, take profits, yeah.
So to answer that, if you guys have $100 account, that's a 0.00001. Okay, just lowest lot size you can use. Put it that way. When you get to a $2,500 account, be a 0.25. Okay, but that's also depending on how you're trading. I mean, you guys see, I'm just an example. A $10,000 account, I'm taking 3 trades at a time. I'm not using a 1 lot size each time. I'm dividing that 1 lot size to accommodate it for the full 1 lot size, if that makes any sense.
So for you, Alec, for you on a $10,000 account, a volume of 1 is what you're saying would work, but then you would divide it in 3.
That's correct. Depending on how many trades you're going to take. Like the take profits that I go for, my personal strategy, I divide it in 3, yes.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Jared.
I was going to say, yeah. And again, it's all the starting point. For people who are brand new, yeah, we start really small, but really build that confidence that he did in that back testing and the demo testing, right? And a big part of what he's doing is the execution of the trade, right? And as people build on that, risk tolerance, win rates, and so on and so forth will continue to grow with that risk tolerance. So it's just not a clear cut as Alec uses this and Jared or Matt uses this. It's really a personal thing. And we put guidelines in place of what we'd like to see. As far as helping you so you don't risk too much right out of the gate. But we also want to see you make money too, right? But it has to come down to your discipline and you see how really disciplined what he's doing. And you grow. You grow from that point on. And it's amazing. So it will be different slightly for everyone, depending on tolerance and personalities and where you are putting this stuff on. Like Alex said, so most of his trades there would be like a 0.33 roughly separated. So he's still risking the same amount of money every time, but it's he's breaking down his loss.
Something, Alec, I think would be helpful too is some of our members, I'm seeing some comments on here, some of our members aren't using the point system or aren't familiar with that. Can you just run through that really quick with them? Like what a line has to look like to add up to a point that then is having you make a trade?
Yeah, love to hear. Actually, you know what? I stole Troy's his Google Sheets thing. That's what I went off of. I mean, I knew what I was doing, but he had it so laid out, very beautiful. It's kind of hard not to take it from him. So, but overall, here, let me go back.
Yeah, he's done a great job for that. I agree.
Oh, he's fantastic at it. So real quick, guys, my points right here. My orange line is up. That's 1. Orange line down here is up. That's 2. My blue right here, my thin blue, pointing down. That's 3. That's 3 points, guys. That's 3 out of 10. If those are the only 3 that I see, guess what I'm doing? I'm not taking that trade. Not happening. My major, my minors. So my green is crossing over my red. And it's coming through my bottom channel. That's 1. That all is 1. My red it's crossing through. It's almost there, but I'll count that as one. You guys are pointing up in that direction with my minors. That's 2. So right there we got 5. Okay. With my minors, they're pointing up. It's 7. I'm sorry, my minors, guys, is my gray and my black lines. Okay. And then my pressure, my green is just now crossing over my red. Okay. Typically when they cross with each other, that means it's about to go that way. Right? Typically, but not always. Okay. So right down here, let me see if I can move this in. As far as it can go. My green is just now crossing over my red. I'm going to take that as another 2 points. That's a 9-point trade right there. Okay. What is the one point that I'm missing, guys? Can anyone point it out? You're right. My big blue. But then again, that is the one that I'll kind of let go wherever. It's a blessing if it lines up, but other than that, it kind of does what it does. And the reason why it's because it's very, very, very slow. Think about it as like an old grandma Volkswagen Mobile, and then all these other indicators, they're modern day cars, and then you got your Lamborghini. But that's that. Those are my fruits. Let me see if we got any questions.
Do you find that you use one specific time frame more than another?
Yeah, so I typically, personally, like I said earlier, I typically only trade off the 30-minute to 60-minute. But I would love to get where Matt's at and trade longer times, because guess what? I'm going to get more picks, but that's only going to come with time. Guys, I've only been doing this, 7, 8 months now? It's going to come with time. I want you guys to think of this as like it's a turtle and hare race. Okay, who always wins? The turtle. Okay, if you take your time, you're patient, you back test, you study, you take your time, I can guarantee you that you guys will be very proud of yourself on learning the indicators, and you'll be doing very well.
Can I just say, Alec, that I love the simplistic approach to your trade plan and your strategy. And not only that, but I think the most difficult part of your trade plan, and it's still simple, it's just we get to practice it as traders, is your approach to your take profit and stop loss in your volume. That's really looking at it. That's what it narrows down. But looking at your trade plan, it's a very simple approach.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. And guys, I'm more than happy to, if you guys need more help, I'm more than happy to, show you guys on other Zoom calls and stuff on how I'm doing, and we could take live trades together. I'm not opposed to that. I'm more than happy to show you guys how I do it. It's just, just the only thing I could ask you guys, please just take your time and, and study as much as you can and find the best trading plan for you. This may not work for you guys. We're all on this webinar because, I've been doing pretty well. But this may not work for you guys.
And I would say, Alec, you're not an atypical trader. Obviously, you've only been doing this for about 8 months with us, and we have you on here for a reason. So obviously there's something unique going on here. Even I'm interested, I'm intrigued. The whole time you were going through this, I was like, okay, there's got to be some secret. Like, I'm just waiting for this really complex thing that he's going to say. And I'm actually really surprised, and in a good way, because of how simple yet unique this is. Again, having said that, there are a couple extra questions coming in. I know we're getting close, guys, to our commitment. Our time commitment around this is to be done at 11:03. I think we get to let the people that want to go. just out of a level of integrity around time. But Alec, do you want to stay on a little bit longer to answer some of these questions?
Yeah, I would love to answer you guys' questions. I'm looking at Mr. Stephen May. He said, how many hours a day are you trading? To be honest with you, I only trade if I see my trading strategy being implemented on the screen. So what that means is, I'm sorry I didn't direct answer your question. What that means is I'll hop on, in the morning, and if my stuff does not line up, I'm not taking the trade. I'll come back later that day and I'll hop into Austin and I'll see if there's something going on. If nothing is happening, guess what? I'm not taking that trade. I will wait till the next day. Hey, guess what? If that next day, if the next day, if it doesn't line up, guess what I'm not doing? I'm not trading that next day either. I'm only waiting for my trading plan to be implemented, and that's when I take the trade. So it could be a couple times a day. It could be no times a day.
So you say it's quality over quantity is what you're trying to say.
100%. Yeah, like it's. I would rather take 1 to 3 trades a week. I know, guys, that sounds very minimal. Okay, I'd rather take 1 to 3 trades a week and win every single one of them instead of taking 12 and blowing an account. Like that's, I got my psychological together. Okay, I'm not revenge trading anymore.
Typically, how long are you waiting for a trade to set up? How much time are you spending in front of your computer?
We'll give it about a good 2 to 4 hours a day. Just to look at setups. Like I said, there's typically only 2 pairs that I look over, but I do look at 2 other pairs as well, and that's just to typically look at. But about 2 to 4 hours. Yeah. How many hours a week would you say you back test? You're going to think this is crazy, but I back test more than I trade. I back test more than I trade.
Great. That's the way it should be.
Yeah, and the reason why is because let's say that I'm back testing, right? And I missed a trade. Like I go back every week and I go back into that week on every single time frame. And the thing is, people can't tell me like, oh, I don't have time in the day to do it. Like I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning sometimes just to do it because I want to make this a full-time thing, which I'm very grateful and very blessed. I back test a lot, and let's say I go back that week, right, and I miss that trade. I go, why didn't I take that trade? Was I on at that time? Was I not off on that time? Stuff like that. So that's that.
Hey, Alec, just want to make a plug because there are some people just kind of leaving the webinar. And we have a lot of, I asked the question, I said, hey, is there a lot of new people that are attending? And we had a huge response of people saying yes, brand new, even to our organization, like this is the first time that they've been on a webinar or they've seen us before. They're just trying to make a decision on whether they want to pursue trading. And so I just wanted to kind of make that plug. Jared talked about it at the beginning, and that was that we have an opportunity for people that are interested in trading. They want to check out the indicators, and they want to test it out, just like you did, Alec. I'm assuming that you signed up as a trader light back in the day before you committed to getting into coaching, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so what that looks like is we are teamed up with Hearts and Hands for Humanity, and what we're trying to do right now is help people in Africa, in Tanzania, get clean water. And so for a simple donation of $10, you guys can hop in and experience exactly what Alec did with somebody who will help coach you along. And then if you are interested in moving forward, then you can have cool guys like Jared and Chris and all these other guys that are on here that are coaches that are going to help you long term. So I wanted to mention that so that way people that were leaving didn't miss out on that. And kind of the next step for those who are brand new, you guys can. I'm gonna do this, and I might regret it, but you guys can email me or text me, and I will get you with an individual that's going to help you. So I will put that in the chat as far as my phone number as well as my email while you're talking, Alec.
Yeah, and I would say just to add to that really quick before we get back to questions, you got here somehow by someone who's already a member, and we're a pretty tight member base of traders, and so if you have obviously the best and probably easiest contact without overwhelming Sean is just whoever sent you an invite here, if you are new, just to get in contact with them. I think most of our people on here are members who are wanting to learn this strategy, who are already trading with us. But if you're not, or you're wanting to test it out, that's probably the easiest way to do it. All right, well, I'm going to check out, guys, but I'm going to leave this open for as long as Alec wants to go. I mean, keep it within reason, Alec. We want to respect your night. Probably no longer than, let's try to get done at 11:30 your time. There are some extra questions on here. I'm sure people would love to hear the answers. But let's try to be wrapped up around 11:30.
Okay. You guys have any more questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'll try to answer them best I can. And
I saw a question. I don't know what happened to it, if they just answered it direct. But there was a question on pips, like what your pip target is, or how many. This is from Gary. How many pips do you normally win in a day?
Again, that typically just depends. Weekly I average, I'd say about $1.20, $1.30. It's weekly. But there's times that I do lose as well. I mean, so if I were to average it out, I probably get about 87 to 88 pips a week.
Oh, did you say $1.30?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you meant 130, guys.
I'm
Sorry,
sorry.
us people younger than the West Coast, we don't know what we're talking about.
About 130, but with losses, probably like in the 8s. For sure. But I'll tell you right now, guys, if I start trading like mad on these long terms, it'd be a lot more than that. So.
Yeah, it's just a disclosure. One, I am definitely not an atypical trader. I've been doing it for a long time, and I can honestly say I'm having the best year I've ever had. In fact, I had the best day I've ever had today, which was insane. Like, and it's just dumb money at this point. Like, it's just, yeah. I've been talking to all my guys about this because crypto is going insane, right? And it's like, if you're not getting on this train, you're gonna miss it. I mean, like, insane returns, insane opportunity, and it's like, this is great, Alec. This isn't even crypto, and it's like you're showing something that, one, I think has offered our members a higher level of risk management and the potential for longer term gains, which I actually like seeing. I like seeing members targeting longer gains with tight stops, because that's what typically happens is we get in and we miss the run, we miss the target that could have been. And as long as you're running, right? As long as you're running how much, right? As long as you're running the strategy, so to speak, your risk is pretty much mitigated. It seems like, at least that's. Yeah, I'm gonna try this a little bit just to see what my experience is. Which I think reiterates the point, guys. Back test, back test, back test. Don't just because Alec has found something and it works for him does not mean it's going to work for you. I'm a very long-term trader, and I find that pressure and psychology doesn't work for some people. So you really got to figure out what works for you also. Even though this can work and does work for Alec, doesn't mean it will for you. I'm getting a lot of thank yous, by the way, Alec. And just wrapping up before I get off, I just want to say thank you for everyone that's on. We've got a lot of people that have done a lot of work. to be here to throw this together. This is something that we are kind of running as a test, really. And I think it went great. Alec, I think you did a great job. I'm actually pleasantly surprised by the outcome. And yeah, Sean, thanks for being on tonight. Jared, thanks again. Chris, I heard you chime in a couple times. Thanks for being on. Todd, our compliance officer, is there anything we need to clean up from tonight? Anything we need to go over or make sure our viewers don't miss, or anything he said that needs to be?
No, I think everything went really well. Great presentation. I don't think there's any disclosures that were missed or anything. We're good.
Okay, thanks, Todd. Steve, if you want to call me sometime, let me know, and I'll let you know how I was doing.
Hey, real quick, Alec, will you show your price retracement tool again?
Yeah, I'd love to. Here, I'll just kind of get out of this.
You know, what would be helpful too, Alec, is after you do this, maybe we look at a couple pairs that are active right now that we can look at live and see if there's any points that are added up that we can just kind of talk about.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me get out of this right here. Ooh, look at that. Let me get out of this thing. Right here, guys, we got looking at the Aussie USD right now on my 30-minute chart. I personally will not take a trade right now. Reason why is because my thin blue is pointing up. I mean, everything else is lining up. Everything else is lining up, but my thin blue is pointing up. It's not a confirmed trade for me. But guess what? We got positive news out of this. There's still 14 minutes left. So that's what I'm looking at the Aussie right now. Let's see. Those only pairs I got on here, brother.
Yep. But it's good to see that, you know, because some guys like to force a trade and you stuck to your rule. You know, it's kind of a test. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I only stick to really two. Like I said, the other two guys, I mean, that's play around mostly for demo because they're high volatile. But if I see a really strong trade, I do take it. So.
Oh, I think Jared wanted you to cover that price retracement tool one more time.
You sure? Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all good. There was a lot of questions. That happens.
You show it, so don't worry about that.
Yeah, so here, it looks like right here, this would have been a good trade to take, but guess what? I wouldn't have got a lot of picks. So guys, sometimes this happens. Sometimes this happens for all you guys that are in here right now, where everything's looking good, but guess what? When you do my price for trade, oh, you know what, guys? Just so the people that ask, this is my price retracement tool. Yeah, I'm going to take a picture of that. I'll leave it up there for 2 seconds. So sometimes this happens where everything lines up, right? Everything's looking like a solid trade, but guess what? What am I going to go for? Half a pip? You know, it's sometimes that happens, and right there, I don't take the trade. So this one, again, it does not follow my rules. Even though we know what just happened and it's going up, it doesn't follow my rules. Everyone's looking at this right now like, Alec, that looks like a 10-point trade right there. Yes, but what is it doing that I don't follow? It's in my overbought. I'm in my oversold. Sorry. Passing oversold, closed over it. I won't touch it.
That is overbought.
Overbought. Sorry, my overbought up here. Okay.
Or just so people understand too, when he's talking about the channel is that blue, in between that blue and red lines there, we call that the channel. And when you're above that blue, we call that overbought. And when we're below that red, we call that oversold, just to kind of clarify what he's talking about.
Yep. And that's right there. That's why I wouldn't take the trade, just because typically when it goes over there, it comes right back. So I won't touch it. Unless my pressure is pointing up. If it's pointing up, I'll let it roll out. So let it sideways. And my pressure is kind of opened up a little wide right here. I don't know if you guys know that, but like if your pressure is opened up a little bit, that means a little bit of retracement sometimes. So I wouldn't trade that. In regards to the price retracement, so I'm sorry guys, I kind of got over it. If I were to take a trade there, I'm going to start at the close of the candle, whether it's a buy or a sell, and I'm going to go back to the opposite candle. So if it's a buy, I'm going back to a red candle. If it's a sell, I'm going back to a green candle. I pull it back to it. Right here on my take profits. And my third one that I do, I kind of let run. And then what I'll do is, the one that's running, I'll adjust my stop loss to the entry so I don't lose anything. If it comes back, guess what? I didn't lose anything, but I took profit on 2 things. So that's that. We got any questions? He said, Brian, he said green pressure is on top. That is, but they aren't pointing up. Look, brother, I get what you're saying, and that was actually one of my biggest pet peeves when I started. Look at this. I completely understand what you're saying. That's why I'm not taking the trade. So my green is on top, right? And it's as you see the pressure, it's kind of coming down, right? And it's starting to curl up. That's what I'm looking at. Okay? I mean, look at my 30-minute chart as well. My green is starting to curl up. So what I mean by I'm using my 15-minute to get to my to adjust for my 30-minute is you see my pressure on my 15 is starting to curl up, and so is my 30. So that is the only reason I would even consider it. I hope I answered that. Exactly. Taking 3 trades at the same times. Different brokers or depth in the market. Savannah, so typically what I do is, if you look at my price retracement tool, again, that's what I want you guys to take a picture of. This is why I'm taking 3 at a time. So what I'll do is I'll go to my broker, whether it's Turnkey, CoinX, or whatever broker that you guys do choose. You'll go to the depth of the market. And the reason why I use the depth of the market, guys, is because psychologically, okay? The reason why I do it and what Jared helped me out with, it's very psychological to use the depth of the market because guess what? You're not looking at trade going negative. You're not looking at that trade going positive, okay? You're just going off of your strategy, okay? So this is what I mean. So I'll take 3 trades right here. If I'm using the depth of the market will pop up, and I will take 3 trades. Boom, 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 all on, and then I'll adjust the take profits, and the stop losses are all the same, but I'll just adjust the take profits on both of those that are out there. And then I let the third one quickly run. And once I hit the take profits, I adjusted my stop loss to my entry so I don't lose anything. So the third one is like, the third one that runs, that's like if it keeps going, guess what? You won more. If it comes back, guess what? You still won. So hopefully I answered that for you. What is your percentage for this trade? What I'm running right now, it's better to show you than tell you, but it's in the 90 percentile. All right. And the reason why it's so high, I only take so many trades. I don't take a lot of trades. I only take ones that make sense to me.
So again, it goes back, most people think that they can trade their way into 90%, and it's almost just the opposite. The fewer trades you in, because we're human beings, right? We're more likely to make mistakes the more often we do something. So it's more like, like Alec's been talking about, he waits patiently for that moment. Sounds like, right? He's taking fewer trades, doing better financially, and better winning-wise, not because he's taking everything that breathes, but because he's taking the right trade. So, again, win rates will vary even with the same trade plans, because some people think they need 100 trades a day, or 40 trades a day, while guys who are really proficient at this are waiting for that right moment with the right lot size where they can make more money in less time or potentially, right? So keep that in mind with win rates. Just because he's doing it, again, trust me, I've tried to give everyone under the sun my trade plan that I think is awesome. And guess what? The results come back very. So Alex said it right at the very beginning. The back test, he dedicated time. He did things that some people just aren't willing to do. He woke up earlier, he stayed up later to get the work done. That's the key. And look how disciplined he was. I would have taken that 10 days sideways. I'd be all over that. Right? My baby. Right?
Something.
Choking, right? But still, and again, it's like, I am one point with 1 point. Well, it means everything, right? It's the difference of 80% versus 90%. At 1 point will change it that much. So just keep that in mind and trust me.
Yeah, that's great, Jared. This is Matt again. Something I just want to chime in on too that I heard I just want to clean up. So, just Alec mentioned a couple brokers that he's familiar with or maybe is using. He actually mentioned one that our corporate affiliate account trades with. But I'm glad you said afterwards, it's really up to these guys to choose their broker. The question though, well, one, we don't recommend your brokers. You guys get to figure that out on your own. It's simple. You go to Google, you search for your own broker. Two, the reason that question I think was asked is there are brokers that have limitations on like how you can buy and then maybe sell at the same time, or how do you buy all at the same time. And I think, Alec, what you were saying is like when you get in at 0.3 3 times, I'm wondering what the actual mechanics are. Like, do you actually click buy, or do you have some software, something running in the background that's just like buy and then somehow splits it into 3 trades and then goes in? What's the actual mechanic that you're using?
Yeah, so the mechanics that I'm using right now is I do hit the buy 3 times, and then I adjust my take profit. Stop loss is already implemented, and then the third one I just typically just let run. And then once the other 2 take profit, guys, I adjust my stop loss to the entry. So if it does come back, I didn't lose any money. So. Hopefully I answered that.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's perfect. And I think that came from Savannah.
Okay. Let's see. When do you adjust your stop loss on the third trade? After the taker. Also, if you lose a trade, do you tend to lose all 3 or cut the third short? Yeah. So that's the thing. I'm actually very happy. That's a great question. The reason why I split them up is because let's say that, so if you guys are typically only taking 1 trade at a time, right? And you guys have I'm just going to throw it, just a demo account. You guys have a demo account. You guys have a $10,000 demo account. We use up 1 lot size, right? I split that up 3 times, okay? So if I lose that trade, it's just like I lost it 1 time, okay? It's not like I'm losing it 3 times. I'm losing it 1 time because I split my buys or sells into 1. Oh, thanks, Brandon. I appreciate you, brother. is.
Yeah, all right, Alec. I think we're gonna start wrapping this up. So
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, guys, I gotta ready to hit the hay as well. But you guys, thank you guys for having me. Guys, feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to. I love the positivity that we had today, and I love the. You know, if you guys are having any questions about my strategy, I'm more than happy to send you guys over. You know, have my Google Sheets. I gotta get it from my other desktop over to you. You know, just shoot me an email. I'll be more than happy to help you out.
yeah,
So thank you guys.
I want to thank him again, and he did this out of the goodness of his heart. He just wanted to give back because of the success he was having. This isn't something that just we went to him. He offered and out of the goodness of his heart. So hope you guys understand what he was willing to do for you guys tonight. To share what's been working for him and help you guys took great notes. And again, I also realized how simple it was. Sometimes we think we need these elaborate things. Counting is just the indicator, but there's 9 points to taking the trade. There's a couple of nuances.
Guys, there's a few of you that are asking for Alec's email. I'm going to ask all of you guys to please keep that to the company chat so that we're not blowing Alec's phone up and he gets to have a personal life still.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you guys. I hope everything. Hope you guys took this as a positive webinar, and I hope to see you guys again soon. Thank you.
Sean, do you have
Thanks, Alec. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alec.